Alright, we on. What's good? What's good? We're gonna talk about the way people interpret things. How do you see things and how other people's perspective can be different from yours. We all have different views on certain things, and from our perspectives, things could just come off wrong. But it's always best to slow down with the approach, whether it's relationship, business, because what the other party sees, you might not see. You might not see it, and the wrong perception can ruin a relationship. It can also, the right perception obviously can build a relationship. But it all comes down to, really listening and understanding what the other party has to say. It's so easy to assume. It's so easy to be negative when, when your emotions are high. But perceptions, they really decide a lot, and a lot of situations have good or bad outcomes based on them. You probably blown up and had a bad reaction to something. We all have, just because we didn't see it in a certain way. But did you really look at all the facts? Did you know the facts? Did you take the time to listen before you even spoke? It's easy to jump the gun when you are feeling, like you just wanna fire off. It's easy to fire off, and just, imagine what the outcome could be of that, It could probably have, a bad situation could have probably ended correctly if you did take the time to just see what things were about. But negativity is so easy nowadays. You don't know, you just don't take the time to think, So situation, everything is situational, and when you don't take the time to even listen and you just rambling off, it in business, at least in business, because I've had a few bad business dealings, you can ruin something that could have potentially been right for you. You probably was dealing with somebody or burnt a bridge that would have probably been good for you down the line. That's why it's so important to see the big picture as well. Just not focus on one moment, not getting stuck on one moment, and just really seeing the grand scheme of maybe a conversation or something like that. Because again, when you don't have all the facts, you just cutting people off, it's so easy to walk away, or just assume what you think is right, and there's people and need personal development, every day of our lives. It is so important to learn patience and learn listening. I think listening is more important than even what you say, because it allows you to respond correctly, And even I had to learn how to, respond, in certain situations. Because, being young, thinking you know it all, can lead you you know, can lead you first off with a lack of knowledge, or just also just break a bond that was there for years. Perception is crazy. It is a thing that you have to, it is literally something that you just have to be patient with, even the other person's perception, you know, because the tone now, if it's through something like writing, you know, like a text message or something, you definitely gonna misinterpret that, you know. You're gonna misinterpret that if you feel that way. But the other party probably didn't even, you know, didn't mean anything offensive, whether it's coming from maybe somebody at work or maybe just a partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. But, you know, I'm speaking on this because people, you know, it's a fast-paced world. It is a fast-paced world, and we don't, you know, we people, we don't listen, you know, we just jump to conclusions and think somebody doing us wrong, when maybe, let's say, like a grandparent or something was telling you something that was right. Now you had to bump your head to find out 8 months later that what they were saying was correct, you know. And I've learned also that, like, it might be something that I don't want to hear, but I take the time to listen anyway, because as a conversation, or maybe as something that I'm listening to, a video or something, as it goes on, I get more clarity. But if you just listening to the first 5 words and then cutting something off or cutting someone off, it can leave you with just no clarity or a lack of knowledge, you know. It's just so easy in these times to cut somebody off, you know, to not get no understanding. And I've done it before, you know, but when I got into my 30s, I just really had to grow, you know. I really had to grow. I had to learn that, you know, you can't just walk away from everything, because communication is very important, at least, you know, getting into business. That's what really made me, you know, want to be a better listener. And well, even coming up, I could say, you know, like, I was, you know, young and foolish at times, but as I aged, I listened to the lessons, you know, even from small conversations with barbers saying, you know, man, sweep the floor with the edge of the broom, you'll get more of the hair up. And I'm like, now, it wasn't really a conversation, it was just a quick gem. And it still helps me in my life today, you know. It's just all about listening, how you interpret things, and, you know, asking yourself, you know, or asking a person, what did you mean by that, you know, in a nicer tone than that, you know. But you really want to have a clear understanding, and if you have to ask a question more than once, that is okay too. Because a lot of people are scared to ask multiple questions, and then it is the thing that people don't like to repeat themselves, you know. People don't like to repeat themselves, but, you know, I'm really bringing this topic up because it is a fast-paced world, and it is easy to just, man, give up. You know, it's easy to give up. It's really easy to give up on your dreams. When you have that inner talk with yourself, that dialect is so serious when you're talking to yourself in your mind, because most of the time it's going to be negative, those talks you have with yourself. And you have to really zoom out. If you are a driven person and you are on a path, a mission, and you, let's just say you got a big vision, don't let the moment or whatever's in your head distract you from the big picture, from where you see yourself years down the line. Because we're always in different emotional states. You know, how you feel now, you probably won't feel like that in the next 15 minutes. You might be motivated now, you know, going after your, you know, on your path. Then 15 minutes later, you feel like, man, this not even going to work. So the most important conversation before anything is the conversation in your head. Because obviously you're going to respond from what, if you're having another conversation, you're going to respond from with what comes from your head first. Then it's going to flow to your mouth. But you got to think about that first. So just, you know, overall, just make sure you checking yourself and you slowing down before you respond, before you react, even when it's just you. You know, I taught myself, like I said in prior videos, I always focus on remaining present, even during these videos. Sometimes I can lose sight, but I always come back. You know, I always just take the time and try to think about what I'm saying. Sometimes it can just flow and spew, but most of the time it's just, you know, I'm thinking, you know. So you know, again, it's a fast-paced world. People will poke at you. People will try to get you to react, you know. And it's really all about how you respond. If you respond in a manner that shows that you have experience in just in personal development, then you got control of the whole situation. And all in all, you really don't ever have to respond in a violent manner. You don't have to respond quickly either. You know, in situations, take your time. Take your time. When I'm on here, like I said, things might flow out, but I take my time and I think, and there's nothing wrong with pausing, even if it's a text message. You know, read it 2-3 times. What do they mean by this? What do they mean? And if you don't understand, then you send that question back. What did you mean by that? Is everything good? Because you always want clarity in situations. You know, you don't want to ruin a relationship over what you thought, what you assumed. You know, it's just so easy to assume nowadays with so many stories coming from the news, so much fast things happening in our lives, so many short-tempered people, you know, and you just think somebody ready to offend you when they might have been saying something that was beneficial to you, you know. I have a lot of OGs from the past that just wanted to give me game, and I'm like, you know, is this dude hating, or are they, you know, what's going on? But now that I'm older here, I'm glad I sat and listened to those lessons, because it allowed me to grow faster, you know. And it's down to small things. It's lots of small things that I could just remember that I learned from an older fella that spoke to me when I was younger, just because I took the time to listen. You know, your perspective and what you see and from what level you understand things will take you to a different level. But being a hothead is not cool. You'll mess around and, you know, ruin something totally good over how you felt emotionally, you know. And again, y'all probably like, why is he speaking on this? Because the times we live in, it's a fast-paced era where people just want you to respond. And what's it called when they hit like? It's called the reaction. people just won't. She said, what if it don't work? And I'm like, why are you thinking negative? You know, why you gotta think negative? And she said and thought about it. And I said, you could have totally been positive in that situation, but you decided to think that something wasn't going to work. What if it does work? You know, that's the main thing I've been, you know, telling myself. You know, just the positive messages. It's gonna work. It has to work. Because we really believe in, I mean, I'm speaking on what I do. We really believe in our vision and the information we put in, the work we put in. We just have total belief in ourselves, full confidence, you know. So work on the way you perceive things, and most importantly, just the optimism. If you don't know that term, which I think most people do, just being optimistic, you know, having a positive outlook, even when things are going downhill. Even when things going downhill, just having a positive outlook, you know. That's why a lot of people stop their businesses, because once one thing go wrong, once they, you know, get a customer call back saying something about, you know, oh, you messed up here or something like that, it's like, now you want to quit. But like I say, if you ever watched a video of a celebrity performing and they fall off stage, that's not ending their career. I guarantee you, they probably, if they're not hurt, they're probably going back on stage the next day, or they're getting right back up and performing. Beyonce's did it. She's fell right on stage. What she do? She got back up and performed. So, you know, the way that we view things, see things, our optimism, you know, is just it'll just really take you far, you know. I feel like the odds are against me a very often, but it can't stop me, because the way I view things is just, it's going to work, you know. It's going to work. And I wish most people think like that, but some people just can't see. I go back to saying just the bigger picture. I mean, I think that is one of the most important things in perspective. It's like, if you at work and you been there for 10 hours, let's say, and somebody might have gave you a middle finger or something like that, you know, you blow it off and you keep going. That's one small part of your day. And really what it was is, it was probably that person had a bad morning and was in a rush. But don't let it affect you, you know. So again, just perspective, the way you see things, the way you interpret things, it can take you as far as you want to go. Being critiqued, because you will be critiqued in anything you do. Your response is heavily dependent on just how far you will go, you know, in anything you do. Again, just it's so easy to be negative. I mean, I'm speaking on this because I see so much of it in the news. You hear it on the radio. Y'all probably got the, like I said, the little news break that come on your phone, the social media as you scrolling. Oh, so-and-so got shot around town, whatever. It's like, it's so much negative that you absorb some of it. You absorb some of it and you don't even know it. Now, you walking around anxious, you know, because you don't know what went on in that story. Actually, they could have put out something false in the story. But you absorb some of that, and now you walking around anxious. And we all fall victim to it, you know. But personally, I don't get into it, you know. I stay away from the news. Just absorbing high frequencies and the most positive information I can get. When I tell you, if it's 10 things lined up, about 8 of them are negative. About 8 of them are negative. It is so much negativity, and that is why our perceptions of many things are so jacked up. Even, you know, people thinking everything is a scam or somebody trying to come up on them, which is, we not wrong. We not wrong in that. You know, we just defending ourselves. But you can also miss an opportunity if it's something serious, you know. So take the time, ask questions, make sure you got all the facts before you assume something. You know, make sure you got all your facts right. How many opportunities have you missed because you jumped the gun? How many people have you hurt because you've jumped the gun? You know, take the time, even if it's a whole day, you know, and tell that person, I'm not ignoring you. I just need to take time to understand what you said, or, you know, however you have to do it. Take the time to respond. There's never nothing wrong with taking the time to give the proper answer instead of just firing back, because I've done it before, and sometimes you just look like a fool doing it, you know. And I don't want to be that guy operating a business, you know. I speak to people daily, and it's always just a respect factor, you know, because I never know, in general, you never know when you're going to have to reach back to somebody for something. And you can have money, but they might got access to something, or they may know somebody. Well, access. So just, you know, make sure that you see the other side's perspective as well. And if you don't agree, it's okay not to agree, but just be respectful with it. Be respectful with your approach and the things you say. You ain't got to go cussing nobody out. You don't got to do that. You know, I'm sure if you are watching, you're an adult. So, excuse me. Instead of just, you know, seeing that 1 or 2 seconds of it. And then we got all these videos now on here. You come across, I ain't never seen so many fighting videos on social media lately. Like, I'm deleting all them pages off of my stuff. I don't even want to see none of them videos. Hey, what's up, Dylan? I got you, bro, man. I got you. I want to chat with you anyway, man. I want to chat with you anyway, bro. I got something dope. I got something dope for us, man. Something great, man, cuz what you're doing is big time, bro. What you're doing is big time, man. And I have just the perfect piece that'll really bring us together, bro. I definitely got you with a camo shirt, man. Whenever, man, I'm off tomorrow, bro. I'm off, bro. Whenever you want one, man. And I appreciate your support as well, man. I definitely appreciate your support. For real. And what you got going, keep going with it. Don't get discouraged with your thing, man, because one thing about it, you in your own lane, bro. You in your own lane. I don't know too many people doing the racing thing. I've been to the drag strip up in Elkton and all that, but yeah, I don't know nobody that's in your lane with that, man. And just keep working on it and building your sales. And even if you have a rough day with what you got going on, bro, that's part of your process, bro. That's part of your process. You can do it. You can do it big, bro. That what you're doing is serious, man. I come across it and I see it, man. Like, I'm usually the guy that post and get off because I got so many different platforms. But when I'm on Facebook and I scroll, you know, and I come across you, I'm like, man, like that's a different lane right there, man. And what you doing, that's not a low entry. That's not no low cost entry type thing. Like, you invested in your, what I respect about you is you invested in yourself and you invested in your vision, bro. You invested in your vision, bro. That's very respectable, man. There's not a lot of dreamers out here, so seeing you do that is just like it's inspiration, because I don't feel like I'm the only one that's delusional. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm the only one that's going after this. So, you know, bro, it's very dope, man. And like, you know, I'm gonna keep going on with mine. You know, I'll get you a t-shirt. Yeah, bruh. Yeah, bruh. For sure, bruh. I think you'll really enjoy. Like, just, it's something, and it's not nothing grand. The crazy part is, it's not nothing grand. I'm gonna be real. It's not. You'll understand what I mean. But I'm definitely, you know, grow and do some business, bruh, because you got something real special, bruh, and I would love to be a part of that, because to be honest, I don't know the first thing about it, and I just wanna learn. I just wanna see what, like, I think it's always dope because we can get great content out of it to help each other grow. Because you're a visionary just like myself, and I always knew you was in the vehicles and stuff, and I knew you and Shayhan had the fencing joint going on, but like when I seen you was in the like actually like doing your own thing with the vehicles, I'm like, damn, like you got your own stamp on it, and you got your own pieces and stuff, and you know, man, it's all respectable, bro. And even if nobody else sees your vision, bro, like that's just a different lane, man. Like that can take you far, bro. Cause vehicles, though I don't know much about them, vehicles and all that right there, just like people got a love for that stuff, bro. People have car shows. Like, I know Rick Ross got the car show he do like every summer. You more like, it seemed like racing vehicles. Like I said, I've been to the drag strip once in Elkton with my one of the older guys. He passed away, but a dude took me to the Elkton drag strip, and that's the most experience I ever had, bro. But that alcohol was burning my eyes. They say if you get too close, that alcohol stuff will burn your eyes up, man. So like I said, that's the only experience I ever had as far as racing, bro. But to be in the same, you know, area, bro, and just learn what you got going on and being able to collab, bro, and build together, bro. Man, that'll be dope, bro. Because like I said, I do this, I promote this every day, bro. Like this is every day for me. I don't take a day off of this, bro. And I got my stuff is lined up, bro. Content, I got a lot of volume, bro. You know, and I don't mind sharing game what I know, but I don't mind sitting back and listening to you either. You know what I mean? You got things to say. I'm like, man, I learn from everybody, bro. So, you know, for me, it's just like, man, like, shit, let's grow together, bro. Let's grow together, bro. You know, it's abundance out here, man. It's enough for everybody, but you know, some people can just think that you're trying to step on their toes, or that you don't want to include them, but they ain't got nothing to do with you, you know. And you know, like I said, I'm a team player, bro. Like, as a youngster, I was a knucklehead, but as I've grown, bro, I lost things, and I had to learn gratitude, bro. Like, just, you know, just being appreciative, bro. So many people that I lost passed away or even went to jail and stuff, things like that. I'm like, man, I get to wake up, I get to dream. I'm able to dream. I live in America. I live in the greatest country in the world, in the history, and I can wake up every day and dream. I'm not from a third world country where I gotta wake up and wash my back and, you know, and worry about where I'm gonna get my next meal. I can wake up and dream. So I had to take advantage of that, you know, and I take advantage of it every day. Shit, I was up 3 o'clock this morning doing my work, you know, not for this, but my other job. But bro, this is my main job. I don't care what nobody, I got another job, but bro, I live for this. You know what I mean? I live for what I do here. So, you know, again, bro, I can ramble off, but yeah, man, don't quit what you got going on, man. That's big time, bro. That's big time, bro. And it's impressive. Even the fencing thing you got, like I said, with Shahan, man. I would like to see you even, like, I know you got the vehicle thing, you can only do but so much by promoting that more, bro. Like, I ain't see nobody besides Forest Fencing, and they big, do the you know, that type of business. But man, you got it going on with that, bro. You got it going on with that, man. So that's a salute to that. And whenever you want a camo tee, you know, shit, you want me to drop it off tomorrow whenever you want it, bro. Shit, I bring it to you and chat with you, man. You know, I'm up in Dover, bro. So I get that down to you, whatever, man. And again, I just appreciate you for the support. You know, some people come through, some people go, but you know, I'm glad you know, you can see what level I'm on. You know, it's just like, man, I think it's dope, bro. But yeah. Back to perspectives, man. My boy Dylan hopped on, man. He's a good guy. He helped me with a job opportunity that I messed up when I was younger. But man, just perspectives, you know, it is serious, man. Don't underestimate the power of having a good perspective. Just because you see something your way, does not mean you are right. It does not mean you are right. You were just probably caught up in your emotion. Somebody could probably say, man, Jacob sent you a message saying, man, you crazy. You interpret it as, oh man, what you mean, man? You disrespecting me? Everybody not out to disrespect you. They not out to disrespect you. But people get in defense mode. People it's just that hot head, that instant attitude type thing. You know? So, excuse me. As far as perspectives, just, you know, slow down. Slow down. You know? Open your eyes. Understand that it is bigger than you, because it's another side to a conversation. It's another side to the set of thoughts that is going on. You know, it's not always the way that you see things. When you receive things, make sure you are asking yourself internally, is this right? Or if you don't understand, ask a question. Don't stay silent. You know, it's all about personal development. That is one of the reasons I made this video. It's all about personal development and always growing as individuals, you know. Work on yourself, continue to be better. And you know, it's just different ways you can propel yourself in your career. If you want to build yourself a brand, if you want to avoid a conflict, if you want to just become a better person, you know, perspective, optimism, what is it called? Interpretation, just the way you interpret things is so crucial. So work on the way you respond, and you will get better results in your life. I hope you change your perspective, the way you see things, the way you respond to things. And I'll see you next time on the next live session. I'm out.